Welcome to the Big Four Accounting Firms podcast, brought to you by big4accountingfirms.com and the Big Four Accounting Firms YouTube channel. In today's podcast, we're going to be giving an update on that Deloitte employee that was reportedly fired last week and lost her job. So the story was that a Harvard graduate, whose name is Claira Janover, created a TikTok video saying that she would stab anybody that said all lives matter because she supported Black Lives Matter. And she had a number of TikTok videos about Black Lives Matter. She also had another number of other videos that threatened violence. She said she would yeet people off of stuff and punch people in the face. It wasn't just this one video where she threatened to stab people. There's other videos on there that would have done her in if she did not threaten the stabbing. And after she had this stabbing video, she said that her Deloitte job was taken away from her when in fact she lost the job herself. But news came out that she never had a job. She was just offered an internship, and it was a 2-week internship with Deloitte because the typical internships this year have been shortened due to COVID-19 and shutdown. So even if she was to have a job with Deloitte, it would not have been very long. It would have been 2 weeks. And she said she worked very hard to get this job. I don't know how hard you work to get a 2-week internship. Those of us that worked in the Big Four accounting firms and choose to work for the Big Four accounting firms, a 2-week internship is not that extensive. And also, she wasn't even an accountant. Her major was in government. So I think this was kind of a backup plan. And it looks like her primary plan is just trying to be a social media influencer, as the amount of work she put into TikTok seems to be pretty extensive. And Deloitte responded saying that they will not hire anybody that threatens violence on their social media. So that's why they retracted their offer to Claira. And Deloitte also said that they stand against the legacy of systemic bias, racism, and unequal treatment that continues to plague their communities. And they had to say this because Claira said that they're racist and that they don't support Black Lives Matter because they chose to fire her, which they did not do. They just retracted the offer. And they also said that they're not against use of social media. They just don't support, their policies prohibit invoking or threatening violence against others. So this is just a warning to people that if social media posts where you post where it threatens violence, if it does blow up or gets a lot of views and you threaten violence, then you will lose your job, or you have the potential to lose your job or your offer from the Big Four accounting firms. And this is just a warning to everybody as you go into interviews, whether it's now or in the future. Just remember that the Big Four accounting firms can look at your social media posts at any time. They can look at it while you're interviewing. Here, they had already extended an offer to her, or even when you have employment, that they can find out that information later and let you go. You're not guaranteed anything, especially when you engage in this type of activity. I think the main thing to take away, again, as I said last week, is be careful what you post on social media. If you plan to work in the Big Four accounting firms, then I would only post professional things and then maybe some photos of yourself and your personal life that are very politically correct. At this point in time, the way the world is right now, I would just solely post professional things, post about maybe some vacations that you're taking. But other than that, you need to be very careful on social media. And I know a lot of people say, this is my personal life, but unfortunately, that's the way corporations and society works right now. We're in the middle of this cancel culture. So it's just better to be careful right now. I'm sure times will change, but right now you just need to be super careful with your social media. And Claira was not careful at all. So that's another thing to know. She was just there threatening violence. Most people that listen to this aren't going to be doing that. But even if you're not doing that, I still think people need to be careful, because the Big Four accounting firms, their clients are every corporation in the world, and their clients might be picky who they choose to work with. So it's better to be safe than sorry with your social media. Be careful. Only post extremely politically correct things on there, and stay safe and don't threaten violence. So that's the update for today. To get future updates, make sure to subscribe to this podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for listening.